From Illinois Public Media News, this is 217 Today. I'm Kimberly Schofield. It's Wednesday, October 30th. Coming up, we'll take a look at how Midwesterners are leading a national campaign to save a haven for fish, wildlife, and people. That story in just a few minutes, but first, these headlines. A new gender-affirming closet on the University of Illinois' Urbana campus opened on Monday at the Gender and Sexuality Resource Center. IPM student newsroom Stephanie Mosqueda reports the Q Closet will be stocked with free secondhand clothing, shoes, and accessories for students.
Priscila Martinez is the campus engagement team lead at the center. She says they usually hold on to the extra clothing from swaps hosted by the Campus Union for Trans Equality and Support. Martinez says the center wanted to create a dedicated place for people to access those items throughout the semester.
There's the struggle for a lot of students where they are not able to safely or economically be able to get the clothing and accessories that they need in order to feel like themselves.
The closet will be open to U of I students during the Gender and Sexuality Resource Center's regular business hours. I'm Stephanie Mosqueda, IPM News.
Defense lawyers in the federal racketeering conspiracy trial of former Illinois House Speaker Michael Madigan made inroads yesterday with a government witness. Yesterday marked the second day on the stand for Thomas O'Neill, the former top lawyer for Commonwealth Edison. From the Dirksen Federal Building in Chicago, Dave McKinney reports on O'Neill's testimony.
He had testified for federal prosecutors that he felt pressured by Madigan and co-defendant Michael McLean to give a lucrative ComEd legal contract to a prominent Madigan fundraiser, Victor Reyes. That's a pillar in the government case about alleged bribe-taking by Madigan. But a Madigan defense lawyer got O'Neill to acknowledge that he sometimes had doubts about whether McLean invoked Madigan's name merely for effect without actually ever speaking to him. Also under cross-examination, O'Neill told jurors he questioned why Madigan himself would have an interest in the Reyes contract, given all of his other priorities.
This is Dave McKinney.
Officials in Champaign County are responding to incidents of community members violating state election rules. The county clerk's office says it's encountered people wearing clothing with a political message too close to a polling place. The county says an individual got into a fight at a voting center over the weekend that prevented 3 people from being able to cast a ballot. State's Attorney Julia Reitz says she will prosecute people who break election law or threaten the safety of voters and election staff.
Simply put, we want people to come into the polling place in that 100 feet zone and be able to exercise their right to vote freely and fairly, without restriction and without drama, without issue from other voters.
Reitz adds tampering with election materials like a ballot drop box is a felony. People who encounter violations of voting law can submit a complaint with the Illinois State Board of Elections. The front wall of the long vacant building at 129 North Vermilion Street in downtown Danville is coming down today. City officials say they're removing the wall because it's unstable and possesses a safety hazard to people passing by. The one-story structure is located between Chart Records and DC Fitness. Pedestrians and motorists are being asked to avoid the area while crew take down the wall. The city of Danville plans to complete the full demolition of 129 North Vermilion sometime in the future. Still to come, we'll look at how Midwesterners are leading a national campaign to save a haven for fish, wildlife, and people. That story is coming up next on 217 Today. But first, meteorologist Andrew Pritchard with your forecast.
I'm meteorologist Andrew Pritchard with your IPM News forecast for Champaign-Urbana. Your forecast for today, mostly sunny and windy with a high of 81 degrees, south wind 15 to 25 miles per hour, gusting to 40 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly cloudy with showers and thunderstorms likely after midnight and a low of 65 degrees. South wind 15 to 25 miles per hour, gusting to 40 miles per hour. Tomorrow, showers and thunderstorms likely in the morning, otherwise mostly cloudy and cooler with a high of 67 degrees, a west wind 15 to 25 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, clear skies with a low of 37 degrees, a northwest wind 5 to 15 miles per hour, and for Friday, sunny with a high of 58 degrees and a north wind 5 miles per hour.
Next time on the 21st show, it's not easy running for office if you don't have the backing of one of the two major political parties. And that's especially true in Illinois. We'll talk with candidates running write-in and third-party campaigns across the state and talk about the barriers that Democrats and Republicans have put around the ballot. I'm Brian Mackey. That's next time on the 21st show. Join us.
You're listening to 217 Today. I'm Kimberly Schofield. The Upper Mississippi River National Wildlife and Fish Refuge is one of the largest blocks of floodplain forest in the U.S. It's a critical rest stop for migrating birds and a haven for fish and other wildlife. This year, the refuge celebrates its 100th birthday and the Midwesterners who had the foresight to save it. Harvest Public Media's Rachel Kramer has the story.
On a bluff above the Mississippi River in northeast Iowa, Billy Ryder Marolf sets up a tripod with a spotting scope. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service biologist says the fall migration has just begun.
A lot of northern pintail here today. Some gadwall, some Canada geese, some green-winged teal.
The Upper Mississippi River National Wildlife and Fish Refuge stretches 260 river miles through Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, and Illinois. Off the main channel, there's a mosaic of backwater lakes and marshes, braided streams, wetlands, and floodplain forests.
You can get lost in the maze of islands, and there's so many places to explore.
The 240,000-acre refuge is divided into 4 districts. Kendra Pednault manages the McGregor District, which covers parts of Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Iowa. She says their mission is to protect wildlife and their habitats. Still, Pednault says it hosts nearly 4 million annual visits. People come here to fish, hunt, hike, kayak, and birdwatch.
The only way, personally, I feel that people can protect things is if they love it, and they got to get to know it a little bit to love it and want to protect it.
Back in 1924, a group of passionate anglers and outdoor enthusiasts convinced Congress to establish the refuge on the Upper Mississippi.
It was a huge success to protect a really large area. And if we didn't have that protection on this place, it would look a lot different.
Spearheading the campaign was the fledgling Isaac Walton League of America and its first president, Will Dilg. He spent his summers fishing in the river's backwaters. Scott Kovarovics is the executive director of the conservation organization. Shortly after the league formed, he says Dilg and the other founders caught wind of a plan to drain wetlands along 300 miles of the Upper Mississippi River.
And this was something that to them was just inconceivable that it could take place. The damage that would happen to the environment, to outdoor recreation, to fish and wildlife was incredible. And Dill conceived of an audacious plan.
They set out to create a federally protected refuge. The league expanded from the Midwest to 100,000 members across the U.S. in a matter of years. They led a massive letter-writing campaign to members of Congress and created a coalition with groups like the General Federation of Women's Clubs. Kovarovics says the scale of these strategies was unique at the time.
And historians point to this, that, the league in this campaign did originate the template for the grassroots conservation movement that would follow.
The challenges facing the Upper Mississippi River are different today than a century ago. The weather now teeter-totters between drought and extreme flood events. When rain comes in sudden bursts, it can cause a lot of erosion. In northwest Illinois, Savannah District Manager Ed Britton pulls out a large book with aerial photos from 1975.
Many of these islands that used to be along the main channel, they're all gone now. They've eroded away.
These islands are important nesting sites for birds. They also slow down river currents, which support more diverse habitats for aquatic life. At this district and across the refuge, U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, the Army Corps of Engineers, and other partners are rebuilding islands and trying to protect more shorelines. But Britton says they need more public buy-in. And he says most people aren't going to notice how the river has changed if they just pass over it on a bridge.
They don't know what's going on with these extreme floods. You can look out there now, there's a little bit of a remnant of an island left, and I don't think most people are aware of that. They're just not aware of what's happening to our river system.
Back in Iowa, Ryder Marolf recognizes a lot of challenges ahead, but he hopes that visitors will still get to experience the richness of the refuge 100 years from now.
Because it's just such a treasure, and there's so much to learn out there.
As the sun hangs low, more ducks and geese glide into the water to rest for the night. I'm Rachel Kramer, Harvest Public Media.
Harvest Public Media is a collaboration of public media newsrooms in the Midwest and Great Plains. That's it for today. 2 and 7 Today is produced by Stephanie Mosqueda. Reporting today contributed by Stephanie Mosqueda, Dave McKinney, Arjun Thacker, Jim Meadows, and Rachel Kramer. Music by the Kilbourne Alley Blues Band. Reginald Hardwick is our news director. I'm Kimberly Schofield. 2 and 7 Today is a production of Illinois Public Media. Thanks for listening, stay safe, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow.